Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Power of Literacy for Littles podcast. This is our 5-episode mini-series by Power of One Foundation and made possible by the Orange County Department of Education. Power of One Foundation is a local nonprofit here in Orange County. We provide essential resources and other crucial programs to our community. We began as a grassroots effort and we have grown into a trusted organization serving thousands of residents every single year. We are honored to be in the community serving our fellow families and children here in Orange County. I am Shawnee Roberson, your host. I am the co-founder and operations director for Power of One Foundation. I am also a children's book author, a publisher, and a mother of 2 little toddlers myself. For our first episode, I am here with Andre Roberson, the executive director of Power of One Foundation. You are also an actor, a producer, and a community activist. And I'm here with Chrissy Green, our community engagement coordinator for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library of California. You are also a nonprofit professional with over 20 years of experience in the field. Thank you both so much for being here on this series.
Oh, we're so glad to be here. It's
Yes.
absolutely incredible.
Thank you for having us.
And I have to mention, Chrissy will also be my co-host for the remaining 4 episodes of the series.
That's right.
Thank you, Chrissy.
So just to context this episode is titled From Dolly to Your Doorstep. So in this episode, we will learn about Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, the 30-year legacy that it has, providing free books to children newborn to 5 years old. And we will hear about Power of One Foundation and how this partnership came about and what it's going to look like going forward. Chrissy, my first question is for you. Dolly Parton, she is an international icon that we all know and love. She has such a legacy that she's already built. She's achieved so much, and she has such a generous spirit. So I wanted to talk about what Dolly Parton's Imagination Library is and what its primary objectives are in the community.
Yes, it's one of my favorite things to talk about, actually. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library is a book gifting program, and we deliver books to children from birth until their 5th birthday as a means to provide book access, to build home libraries, to better prepare them for kindergarten, and to expose them to a world outside of their own. And Dolly is just the most incredible human. Everything that you hear on the news is her. She's authentically kind, and she started this program back in 1995. So we are celebrating our 30th year, and we are the largest book gifting program in the world. We're operating in 5 different counties, or countries, not counties, a lot of counties, and a lot of countries, 5 different countries. And in the United States, 1 in 7 0 to 5-year-olds actually are receiving the Imagination Library book. And once California is fully launched, that'll be 1 in 4. So we're really excited to partner with our local program heroes, the Power of One being our Orange County hero, and this is just an incredible opportunity to build connectedness in our communities, to ensure that our little learners have access to books, and that our families and caregivers feel supported and loved by Dolly and the program and the foundation and our local hero.
Absolutely.
Wow,
Thank you for sharing that context. What an incredible program. We know Power of One Foundation is just honored to be partnering to bring it here to our kids in Orange County.
We are so excited. And this will be the largest launch that we've ever done in our 30-year history with the Power of One Foundation. So the fact that you have taken this on speaks volumes. And we, from Tennessee to Canada to UK to Ireland, all eyes are actually on Orange County as we, no pressure, as we move towards launching this program for our 0 to 5-year-olds in this community.
What a historic time. Awesome. Wow. Okay, my next question is for you, Andre.
Yes.
Before we talk about this new partnership that's forming and growing, can you share with our listeners the story of Power of One Foundation? What was its inception? How did it start? And what's the heart behind it?
Absolutely. It starts with my family. I grew up taking care of the physically and mentally challenged. That's the business that my grandmother opened. My grandmother was basically my mom, my grandfather. And so through taking care of the physically and mentally challenged, it gave me a different lens to see the world and humanity and understand humanity from a different lens. And then as I went further in my life, I got into the entertainment industry. And so you can see I had both sides. I have a dressing room with my name on it and makeup and everything being done and the whole high life when it comes to entertainment. And then I come back home and I'm taking care of the physically and mentally challenged. So it's very humbling. Mm-hmm. And so through that in my entertainment ventures, I started a record label, and we had people coming asking us for food. And so we took that as a sign, and we started Official No One Left Behind. From Official No One Left Behind, that grew to 18 years of work, which then birthed with Power of One, because I wrote a song called Power of One. And my mom's like, you're not going to be successful till you do something with Power of One. And then Shawnee came in my life while I was in the middle of my work in humanitarian work, and then her heart matched my heart, and then we started doing the work together. And then that's where the pandemic hit and our profile really, really raised, right? We were able to go into the community during a time where everybody was locked up, and we had the partnerships and gain new partnerships and community. For the first time, we saw community work together on a level that was just a miracle every day. So I don't consider myself no one special. I'm just another vessel, as well as all these other wonderful community members that joined us. And through the pandemic, raising our profile, it really allowed us to understand how we wanted to be in the community, which is essential resources for our community members, whether it be kids to adults.
Yeah, and you won California Nonprofit of the Year in 2020 for that effort. We have to point that out. That's,
well, yeah, so we, on that side,
deal.
we were blessed. We were blessed by a lot of our dignitaries within the city, Congressman Luke Correa, our former mayor, Vincent Sarmiento, who gave us the key to the city. Congressman Luke Correa inducted us into Congress, the foundation, and also our names. Our supervisor, Katrina Foley, which then mayor, gave us Nonprofit of the Year out of Costa Mesa. And then you had a lot of individual organizations, whether they were Latin organizations or regular organizations, that actually highlighted us. And then we also got honored by IKEA for the first time, as they won the nonprofit work, community work for the year, which had never been done in the U.S. Yeah. And then there were a lot of donors like Angels Baseball. We have an imaginary donor who we haven't met to this day, who has donated over $500,000 to us. And then the other big respect that we have to give is the community.
You said imaginary, but it's anonymous.
Yeah, it's anonymous. I'm sorry.
They're not They're real.
I forgot I'm around English majors and everything. It is anonymous. They are real. They're not imaginary. They are real, because we cashed that check. But
the accolades are just affirmation that we're going in the right direction. Right?
Yeah.
They don't help us do the work. They're not boots on the ground, but we're grateful for the acknowledgement that what we're doing is important and needed in the community. And that's the sign that we take from those.
And that they acknowledge it. But for us, the most important people that really funded us and helped us make it to where we are today are the community and the businesses that supported us. I always have to give special thanks to Northgate Markets, because the Gonzalez family donated 30,000 square feet to us for us to do this work. Wow, so I think when big corporations like Angels Baseball, Northgate, Gonzalez family from Northgate Markets, and IKEA and all these other entities come together to be able to support your work, it really stands out in the community. And we amassed over 800 volunteers. So that just says, hey, we really want to join you guys, and we're a collaborative nonprofit, and that's what we love.
And that momentum that we created during the pandemic and with our food assistance, we're really excited to bring to our literacy program in collaboration with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library.
That's right. So, the tenets that you have as a foundation and as individuals is very similar to Dolly.
Wow.
That authenticity, that love, and that ability to dream boldly.
And that's where when Shawnee brought it to us, like, hey, here's the Imagination Library. I was like, please, somebody already has that. Like that's not coming to us. We don't have an option for that. And then the more that information came to me as she was researching it out, I was like, oh yeah, we got to do this. This aligns with us. And who doesn't love Dolly? But the biggest thing is when you looked at the literacy stats in Orange County and the work that we do, it aligned our purpose, right? So it was like, okay, we have to take on this literacy program. We have to somehow, some way, we didn't know how we were going to do it, because we know this is a big leap of faith for us. But we know we operate off of faith, because what happened in the pandemic can repeat itself in a different course for this. And we love children. We have 2 children ourselves, and we want them to know how to read, and we know the importance of reading.
And that experience of getting a book in the mail every month and being able to open it up and add it to their library and read it with us, their parents, and it's transformational for a family unit. My next question is for you, Chrissy. Why did Dolly Parton start the Imagination Library? Can you kind of share her why behind why we know her as a singer and an actor and this international icon, but why literacy? Why was that important to her?
Well, Dolly also is known as the book lady, but she started this program in 1995, as mentioned, 30 years ago, as a tribute to her father. Her father could not read nor write. And she recognized because of that, he wasn't able to realize his dreams. And while she was living out her dreams, he was unable to. And so she started this program while he was alive. He has since passed away. And she often will reference that this was something that he was most proud of her for doing. Out of all the things that she's done, from movies to music to a myriad of things.
Massive
I mean,
career.
her resume is 20 pages long. But he was proud of this because he knew that what she was doing was invaluable for children and families. And her goal is multi-level. So she wants children to have access to books because that might not be a privilege some families are able to have in their home. She wants children to see themselves in the books. She wants them to be exposed to words. She wants them to be better prepared for kindergarten. And she wants the world to be connected by way of books. So she asks that every family, whether they're behind a gated community or otherwise, that they participate in this program because it's a connection point. They walk into kindergarten, they have read Look Out Kindergarten, Here I Come, which is the graduation book that every child receives when they've participated in the program. And
how many books do they receive?
So
if they start when they're newborns?
If they start from birth until their 5th birthday, they'll get a book every single month, and that will be 60 books. And they're age-appropriate books.
That's amazing.
They're new books. They're actually specially printed by our long-standing partner, Penguin Random House. So all the authors are Penguin Random House authors. And we have a bilingual book collection. I'll talk a little bit more about the books in a little bit, but I could talk all day, so I'm trying to be succinct.
Please talk. We love
perfect.
it.
But the importance of having both English and Spanish on every single page, not one language is more dominant than the other, allows for that accessibility, and that's also something that's really important to Dolly.
Oh, that's incredible. Thank you,
So her
Chrissy.
why is very multi-leveled.
Yes.
That's an incredible why.
Just, her heart and her spirit just come through her program so clearly. Andre, Power of One Foundation has a powerful mission. It's meeting urgent needs and creating opportunities for our families. But why do you believe literacy is such an important next step for Power of One's work? And how does this partnership with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library fit into that vision?
Well, I think that number one, literacy is very important because our children are our future. They are our tomorrow. Yeah. And we want to prep them as much as we can with as much tools as possible to be able to reach their full potential. To me, I feel there's a lot of things in the world today that the answers will come from our youth, right? And our youth today are so mature. Technology has allowed them something that I might be giving my age away, but that I didn't really have when I was younger, right? I love the physical book, and the physical book, it does something. It draws you into a storyline. You're there, you're intimate, especially when you're reading with your mom or your grandmother, your uncle, grandfather. But then you have this digital age that came in, and this digital age has taken our youth and just focused them on nothing but different things, and it's taken away from the natural feel of books, right? And the intimacy with books. And that's what I love about this Dolly Parton Imagination Library, because now we get to go in and bring them back to the physicalness of holding the book, the storyline, the color in the pages, the images. And then not only that, when you read a book, 9 times out of 10, a kid has a question. I know our kids do. Well, what's this? Why that? So it's an education moment. But I believe, with me being born in Orange County and looking at the statistics when it came to literacy before we took this program, and going in, it's okay, why do we want to take this? Because we never want to take on anything just to take it on. We want to make sure that we're passionate about it and that we're really the vessel to really help institute that change along with so many other amazing people, especially yourself, Chrissy, because you're amazing.
Right back at you.
As our team leader. So once we knew that this is what we wanted to do, I wanted to dive in and make sure that every kid in Orange County, by the time they're 5, they have the Dolly Parton Imagination Library at their access, right? But more than that, us as a foundation, our job is to be boots on the ground to get the message out there, to let the people know what's there. And that's what we specialize in. So when I look at the literacy events that we can have, all the online campaigns that then does stay in the digital space with kids, but then takes them out. I think that that is what really drove us to really say, okay, the Imagination Library is what Power of One needs. And that's the tool and the gift that we want to give to the community.
That's beautiful. Let's talk a little bit more detail about the program. What's the cost of the program, and how are those books selected, those 60 books that you were talking about?
So the cost of the book is actually pretty minimal compared to what you would see in a brick and mortar. So the cost of the book on average is $2.60, and that's thanks to our relationship with Penguin Random House, as well as our printing services in Knoxville, Tennessee. And the books are selected by a committee every single May. This committee is comprised of teachers, current teachers, retired teachers, librarians, children's book authors, and they select the book. They take a lot of time to go through this process, and they select the books based on, one, we need to make sure the book is universal enough so that it can hit the mailboxes across the country. We also have to make sure that the books are diverse in terms of character and content. And then we also want to ensure that the books are age appropriate. They're hitting certain milestone a child experiences. 90% of a child's brain is developed by the time they reach 4. So it's a really important and paramount time to expose them to words and expose them to concepts that they can take with them. When I worked at juvenile court and community schools, I worked with teenagers who had not read a book cover to cover ever. Wow. They were reading at a second grade reading level, and the story they told themselves was that they were not a reader. And it was fear. It came across as apathy, but it was fear because they were so scared to admit that they did not know how to read. And so we were providing intervention tools at that stage. We want to ensure that we have access to books at a much earlier stage so that by the time a child reaches kindergarten, they have success in school. By the time they reach 3rd grade, they're now reading to learn. Yeah. And so, and again, I'll get off my soapbox, that's
very good to bring up.
So important to highlight.
Because me, I was a youth director, and I was even a youth director at church, and I had kids in my choir that didn't know how to read, and so I started a literacy program at the church where I started teaching these kids how to read, and the very thing you said, it was fear, but the minute they started to read and they understood words and they were able to put sentence and context together, I saw their face light up.
It's a game changer.
It is. And I saw the difference that the students had, different respect that they had in me and how they looked. And so that's where I feel like this program, exactly what you just said, is exactly why it's needed so bad in this county. Yeah. And trust me, there's a lot of amazing parents in Orange County that want their kids to read that just may not have access to these particular tools, right? I know in the underserved communities that we serve, we see various situations, so with us seeing various situations, we're like, okay, this literacy gap, this is something that we really can fulfill. And Orange County itself, with all the guests that you've had on this podcast and all of their amazing, testimonies and conversations and their work that they're doing in literacy, I just feel like there is a dream team here. And the Dolly Parton Imagination and the way that you lead, Chrissy, since we've come on to this, the way you've made us welcome, the way you've helped us understand Dolly Parton's Imagination Library and help us build this, because this is a big launch, right?
It's a big deal.
But you are an extension of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library and Dolly Parton, and you're just absolutely amazing. You really carry that. You've made this very seamless for us to be able to pick this up, put an amazing advisory board together that we didn't know how we were going to be able to move this, right? And then also raising money right now when the climate is a little bit difficult, right? But if you put it out there, if you build it, they'll come. And so you help us with our faith level with that and give us understanding of your positiveness. So we really want to thank you because you're very instrumental to us.
Thank you. I would say I'm holding up a mirror. I'm holding up a mirror and saying the same thing back to you. And I want to thank our California State Library. They are our state sponsor, and thanks to a myriad of people, but Senate Bill 1183 was established in 2022, which created a state match. So now the books are on average $2.60, but now another $1.30 for our county. And yes, that's a lot of money to still raise in order to roll this out to 174,000 little learners every single month. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars that we need to raise, and we can do that because of you two, everyone around the table in terms of the advisory committee in our community. This is a community effort. But the California State Library is our state sponsor, and libraries are a natural partner for us because parents and caregivers are the first teachers, and we're encouraging and cultivating a home centered around literacy. There's nothing cooler than that. We're here to make books cool again, right?
Yes.
In a digital age. And also during an interesting time that we're all living in, it's nice to sink our teeth into something that's bipartisan.
Yes.
No one can argue that access to books is a bad thing. In fact, it's a necessary thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to thank you both for being on and being my amazing guests on episode 1 of Dolly to Our Doorstep. We want to thank Orange County Department of Education for making this series possible and helping us get the word out. If you're listening or viewing and you're interested in pre-registering your child to receive this amazing program, please go to powerofonefoundation.org/OC Imagination Library. And also go there if you want to donate or support or find other ways to collaborate with us to really bring this to our Orange County community and our Orange County kiddos. Thank you all.